a sweet one. And the thing that I'm most excited about for a part in this is the new torque biasing center differential. Hello folks, welcome to Netcruzer RC. Check out what we got early access to, a HOSS 4x4 VXL. Huge thanks to TheTankRC and 110 Hobbies for providing this for a quick little unboxing and review. I'm not going to do a full unboxing. This is actually going to be mostly a first run video and comparison. So let's get this thing out of the box right quick and take a look at it, because I haven't seen it in person yet. That's all right, I don't need this footage. Wow. Boy, those tires are hard.
They are hard. I mentioned that on my video also, but it's hard like a steel belt when you go like this. But at the edge, they're not that hard. So I think it's to stop them from ballooning.
So yeah, these tires are very hard compound rubber, but I also think that that's partly by design so that it'll slide a bit more, because with the Max, I felt like they put on too soft and too knobby of a tire and it would roll over all the time. So even though this thing is designed to be kind of the step down from the Max, I think out of the box it's going to perform better, and we're going to find that out today. We're going to get to actually run this for the first time today. Are we running this on 2S or 3S?
3S.
Nice. All right, we're going to get to run it on 3S, because really that's what this truck is designed to do. It's a little bit of a weird mix in what they put in a 4S capable motor, but it's got the 3S ESC in it. We're going to try and see how that performs, and we're also going to do a comparison between what I think is the two most closest comparable trucks, the Granite 4x4 and a Traxxas Stampede 4x4. They're pretty much direct competition for this. Now Traxxas is kind of upgraded. Really, we kind of thought this would be called Stampede 2.0, but they went with HOSS. I'm curious to see how much different is it from a Stampede 4x4, and how does it compare to the competition, the Granite 4x4.
So the first one I basically want to check is the underside of these, especially on the HOSS and the Traxxas Stampede, because to me they're pretty darn close to the same thing.
Look at my dirty one. Wow, it is the longest of the three.
Yeah, and the Stampede is pretty darn close to the same wheelbase. It's maybe half an inch, not even. The HOSS is a little bit longer. But when you actually see the bottom side of it, it looks pretty close. Now this has a different bump on it. That's probably because of the longer can. But it's almost the same design as the Traxxas Stampede.
I was not expecting that for comparison. I thought that this would be not that short. I really thought that this was going to be maybe, I don't know, an inch longer than that, but they almost look identical.
But
if we added it to axle to axle, it would be longer, but not by much, by a couple centimeters.
This bottom carriage is exactly the same thing as this one, because when I compare them side to side and even the front one, it's exactly the same.
Yeah, this rear end is completely identical to this one, as well as I think it's the exact same as the high center of gravity slash 4x4 as well.
Slash 4x4 has a longer pan. It's a little wider also.
But the rear end,
the rear end,
modular,
the same,
front and the rear is probably the same as the slash 4x4 high center of gravity. The low center of gravity one has a different front and rear skid, but really the axles and stuff and the arms, slash 4x4, Rustler 4x4, Stampede 4x4, now the HOSS. There's probably a couple other models that use that exact same setup, which seems like parts recycling, but also means that it's going to have extremely good part support at your local hobby store. If we snap an arm on this today, you can go to the hobby shop and they would be able to get one off the shelf. It's a new model, but it's going to have excellent part support, unless you crack your new chassis in half, because that's a new part. The front of the HOSS is a lot more exposed for the front suspension, and on the Stampede 4x4, I was asking Frank if he added that, or it came with that, but it came with that. Stampede 4x4 came with the shock protectors front and rear, and the HOSS doesn't.
So let's see the stance of all three trucks.
All right, here's the comparison you've probably wanted to see. Granite 4x4 side by side with the new HOSS, side by side with a Stampede 4x4. And Frank was just telling me that the only modification stance-wise that's done on this slash 4x4 is a body lowering kit. So out of the box, the Stampede 4x4 sits with his body really up high, almost up above the chassis line. And the HOSS does have the highest stance of them all, and the highest ground clearance, it seems. And from this angle, you can see that it is a smidge longer, although they're all pretty close.
Yeah.
Under the hood, the difference on this guy is that you get the new Traxxas style, where you get the clipless body. You get these roof skids, which is awesome. Love that, because you're going to be bashing on this.
Narrow they are. Like, they're almost not noticeable. They're very narrow.
Oh yeah, you don't see them. Yeah,
they're barely noticeable with the body.
This rear protection on the bed is also excellent. That's a hard plastic piece, because you can see what happens without that is this type of a thing. It rips the back of your bed right open. So this just flips up and you just pull it back, and here we get a look inside the new chassis. Really, this is going to be very familiar looking to anyone who's used to a Stampede 4x4 or slash 4x4. One thing I do like Traxxas does is this reversible mounting clip system, so that you can flip it around. So it's got for high battery or for low battery. The only problem with that is that if you have top mount battery leads, you can't get it in over, or it's a little difficult. You kind of got to slip it around, and then you can do it with this design, but it's not quite as simple as Velcro straps.
I like the older design, and to me it was more secure having the battery this way. And one more modification I did on this, you put the high post on the back. But other than that, it did not change anything.
I did always find that on my, actually this is the older style that has the clip. On my slash 4x4, it has it's that design, but with a clip, with plastic on the front, and it always pops off.
Yeah, the Stampede always had that.
Yeah. The front shock tower is different because that's how it uses the underbody mounting system, because it needs the little hook for that guy.
Yep.
So the biggest change here is the big motor can, and they had to go to a bigger, well, they didn't have to, I guess. They just wanted to recycle the motor, the style that they had. So they had to change the bullet connectors on the VXL3S. Yeah, so I believe we're running all the same speed control. VXL3S, no fan. VXL3S comes with a fan. VXL3S, upgraded fan. This is the power system out of my original slash 4x4. Power-wise, they all should be pretty similar. So 3800 kV, 3800 kV. This one's 2400 now. So it should be interesting to see what happens gearing-wise, because this one is at a disadvantage for RPM. And they're all going to be on 3S. So we'll see. We'll see how they geared them. This started out as its life as a brushed system. I put in the brushless, the Traxxas system, because I had it. And I did upgrade the shocks. That's one of the things about the HOSS, is that you're paying quite a bit of money for this based on the MSRP, but you're still getting these standard plastic clip-on shocks. Plastic shock caps, no threaded adjustability. These have been around for many, many, many years on a lot of Traxxas vehicles. They're okay. They actually handle all right out of the box. It's just that clip system, and just for value for money, you know, it's all plastic. Granite also came with plastic shocks. I've upgraded them with the 6S version of the metal shocks. That's a direct carryover. Bolts right up. It works very well. You can do a similar upgrade. The shocks on these. Proline, Traxxas makes a shock. There's a lot of shock options, but think about that. If you really do not like these, think about another $80 to $100 for a shock upgrade in the future as well, if you really want. But out of the box, they should handle okay. They seem soft. Ooh, that's even softer.
I don't think I ever rebuilt mine.
Yeah. Anyway, enough waffling. Let's go take them for a rip. Just trying to stuff a big battery in the HOSS.
That's amp.
You don't get batteries included with your Traxxas. You don't get batteries included with your armors either. When you get batteries in an RC now, it's like a joy. Surprise. Yeah, free AA's.
Yeah, 110 Hobby, he said go over it, make sure it doesn't have any options, because he said it might come
sometimes
with a light kit.
this is the first, where does it say that on the box? This is the first delivery model meant for the demos for the hobby shops. So 110 Hobbies has graciously allowed us to demo this in a real running scenario. The same plastic gear 2075 servo in its high center of gravity orientation that a lot of the other Traxxas use, and it seems, you know, it's not the fastest, it's not the strongest, but I, guys, ran my slash 4x4 racing with that servo in it for years, and it held up. So as long as the servo saver doesn't jar it too much, it's got a servo saver on the bell crank system, it'll be okay. Let's see how it does. Also, that drive shaft has a plastic cover, so the center drive shaft goes through the bottom here. You can get grit and stuff fly in under there, but they've sealed it from the top a little bit. So it's got a little plastic guard on it, which some of the older Traxxas did not have, where it's got that little plastic cover. It's hard to see because it's clear, but that just tries to keep the grit and dirt out of it. The other new thing, and the thing that I'm most excited about for a part in this, is the new torque biasing center differential. So every other Rustler slash everything came with a slipper clutch. This one comes with a heavyweight oil center differential, and I'm excited to see how that performs. That center differential, if it performs well, is going to be a very good upgrade for Slash 4x4, Stampede 4x4, Rustler 4x4, that before now, the only option we had to do is the Revo upgraded clutch, which I believe Tank has on his. This is a whole different animal. This is an actual center diff. We're going to see how that works. We have the TankRC in his natural habitat with the radio transmitter in his hand, running the new HOSS. Let's see. To drift around. Whoa! It seems like it's really well tuned out of the box for even on pavement running, because it's got the hard tire, it's got the extra torquey motor. It's got high enough ground clearance for grass running. Yeah, it'll hold that. Whoa! There's some TSM. You see that front wheel wiggling? That was the TSM. Even from a roll, you can get it up on its wheels while rolling, just give it a bit more. It's pretty nice.
Oh, nice endo.
Oh, it's really saveable.
Whoa! Self-rightening. Oh, you don't have to.
Well, that was putting the roof skids to use.
Yeah.
Yikes. Whoops. Of course it's me, put the first scratch on it. But that shows the protection. So that was the rear skid. Got chewed up a little bit, the roof skids. But it is a demo. It is designed to be demoed. Right?
Right.
Say what you want about Traxxas, and I agree. It seems very, like, its price is high. But if it's fun, that's all that matters. Look at it do its thing. I like it. Where you've got a lot of body lean to it. You've got a lot of brakes.
Okay, try to...
I'm going to try and do that ollie hop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a little. Not as gracious as on their promotional material, but you can do it. I like how this thing's tuned. I like how it's tuned a lot, actually. So as you can see,
Lock the doors in your car?
yeah, I did. Comparison-wise, you can see how much laggier and different it is. I can't do that like jumping ollie hop. That's a good sound. I was like, oh, it's not gonna wheelie. Whoops. It seems really lazy.
Oh yeah?
Like compared to that thing was so much sharper and easier to control than this.
Yeah, that's what Tony was saying. It's so easy to control. I want to jump this thing.
It's way out on the other side of the field.
I think that 1200 milliamp is probably too strong for my truck. I've already hit the line. Oh, the one you got in your truck?
Oh, that was aggressive reverse. HOSS 4x4 stock 3S versus Stampede 4x4 stock 3S.
Oh, no self-rightening.
No. Oh yeah, this has self-rightening. Oh wow, the brakes are real sensitive, guys. Real sensitive brake on that. Wow. Brakes are real sensitive, guys. I would want to dial down the brake. Yeah, air control is kind of difficult. Let me try that a little bit slower. I almost don't even want to touch the brake because it'll endo easily. And if I break something, then our fun is over. That was about half to a quarter throttle. Oh yeah, yeah. Brakes, holy cow, the brakes. Try and just nose it down a bit. Woo, was that a body hit?
Yeah.
I think it's popped out of the little guards. Yeah, so it's got these little running board things, but the body pops out of it pretty easily. On both sides. Try the self-righting?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Put it upside down.
So if you go upside down, then you hold the set button, I believe. Hold down set. I was hands off. Drag race is a Stampede 4x4 versus HOSS 4x4. On 3? 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna roll it in.
Ah, I went too far. I hit it too hard.
You don't have TSM, do you?
No, TSM.
No TSM on the old Stampede. Okay. Going? Oh, yeah. Go ahead. I'll try and see if I can keep up. You're all over the place. I will say this HOSS is extremely stable.
Yeah, this thing's all over the place. No TSM. It's hard.
I haven't even adjusted the TSM yet. Wow, wheelie on gravel for that long. That's pretty fun. They're about the same speed. So the HOSS must be geared up because it's got the lower kV motor, but it's just as fast as the old 3800 on 3S. Yeah, look at that. Wheeling, we were basically staying same pace. And I was only on 2 wheels that whole time. Whoa. Speed is fun. Speed is about what you would want. Gearing out of the box, I believe, is 40 miles an hour, which is pretty much perfect bashing speed. Oh, self-rating. Oh, that was weird. It's confused. Crinkle in the rear. I mean, we're showing this real world on what happens from like mild crashes and rollovers. We've got the rear box as a big crinkle in it, right at the rear mount point.
1, 2, 3.
You can tell it's got all the little gadgets in it to keep it stable. Whoa, that was close to you.
Watching you, but I was watching my truck.
Yeah, here, you gotta drive this thing. All right, I'm gonna try the Stampede 4x4.
On 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I tried to do a donut, but with too much power.
It must be that extra torque of that motor. Also, it's at the center diff, because it's way torquier and way tighter of a feel than the slippiness of this on my Granite. Well, I can tell the difference immediately. Diff versus the slip.
Trying to do that bunny hop.
Yeah, well, it's hard. You're doing it though. Oh!
Slow motion. And try to carry it.
You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
That was a sweet one. Oh. It's that brake. You gotta turn down that brake, which is actually difficult to do out of the box. You need the TSM link module and then it's easy. So far with all the crashes and stuff, we haven't popped the shock cap off or anything, which is good. So those revised shock caps and revised axles and stuff seem like they're pretty good. Granite 4x4 versus HOSS. All right, when my comparison with the Granite 4x4 is not going that well because we're running into battery issues where I don't have new batteries for this and they're just worn and old, so not getting good running comparison.
Try to come up here and kick some dirt on me.
Okay. Try and come up more. Oh, I tried to save that, it didn't work.
Try to fight me?
It's got surprisingly, it's got a lot of grip actually for being the hard tires on sand.
Stay there. We'll do another one because I want to see it spin. I want to see it take off.
It'll still wheelie on this.
Yeah, I know.
At least that's better than having it pop right off all the time. But yeah, those little running board things don't really hold it in very well.
Here, try to wheelie at the same time. Oh yeah.
Alrighty guys, we just finished the first run of the Traxxas HOSS. I gotta say, I'm impressed with how it handles and how fun it is. They did a very, very good job. I know the price is high for what it is, but it's fun. You gotta think about fun factor. I just want to talk about a couple things related to the HOSS. The Stampede 4x4 has these really nice lower turnbuckle protectors on the shock that you do not get on the HOSS. So think about adding that as an upgrade part if you want to protect the lower end of your shocks. Clipless body design. Out of all the crashes and stuff we had, it did not pop off once, which is excellent. It did get some road rash and a couple of little dents and dings though. So the roof protectors did their job, but if you come off the side, you still scratch the top of the roof. The rear body mounting position has started to pull out of this mount here, so I guess it just kept getting caught or something, maybe on the back, and it pulled up and it kind of crinkled this area, so we're going to take that apart and fix that. Then when it comes to the axles, these are the extreme heavy-duty Traxxas Rustler axles when they first came out, and I made a whole rant video about that. These ones seem much better. The color of them has changed, so now if you see them in this gray color, they're much stronger. So I think they did a silent revision where now the extreme heavy duty axles are actually truly extreme and they don't seem to snap as much. But we're also running it in the summer, not in the winter, so take that into effect when it comes to temps. Overall, really fun truck. Alrighty guys, so that's the Traxxas HOSS. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you're new around here, subscribe. If you want to talk to me, leave a comment down below. As always, thanks for watching. What do you think? Are you going to order one? Are you going to buy one of these? They're fun. I like the tires. I like how it handles. Yeah, you might want to add a couple little parts to it over time, but out of the box, it is certainly bash ready to have a great time with. All right, guys, thanks for watching.